there's no doubt that there will be a future outside of Genshin Impact's timeline. When thinking about this, I thought about characters who may outlive their friends, partners, etc., may experience many periods of memories throughout their lifespan. One such character that best fit this thought to me was none other than Klee. Klee is a young little girl who, while being free-spirited and always seems to be happy about her life right now, may end up dealing with some brutal trauma down the line. The first reason is because of one of the game's most sus characters, Albedo. Now, coincidentally, Klee happens to be friends with Albedo, as they seem to share a sort of older-younger sibling type dynamic. As of now, we as players are keeping a close eye on Albedo and his actions, as he's revealed his understanding of how dangerous practicing the art of Kimia is, and has hinted on a few occasions that it, and possibly himself included, could become a threat to Mondstadt. Now because of this, he has asked those he's close to, including us, that if such an event were to occur, that we must stop him at all costs. If in the future everything works out the way it was predicted to be, we could expect a moment to happen where Klee witnesses Albedo's last moments, or even worse, has to fight Albedo herself. Assuming that she does live, if this does happen, Klee will have to carry the pain of killing a former comrade for a long time for however long she lives. While of course this would hurt many people in Mondstadt, especially Sucrose and Timaeus, I feel like Klee would feel hurt the most, especially because this would be her first encounter with this kind of situation, especially as a child. Now along with this, Albedo is essentially her caretaker most of the time, so losing someone so important that early in her life screams future emotional problems. Now let's also remember that Klee and her mother Alice come from an elf-like species, and elves, based on multiple verses, can live anywhere from, say, a few hundred years to potentially even thousands of years, if she learns how to do things such as extend her lifespan through magic. Now Albedo dying would be only one of many traumatic events to happen. She'll have to witness Mondstadt society continuously change since human lifespans are much shorter compared to hers, so she'll definitely outlive characters that are close to her right now, like Jean, Amber, and Kaya, who will die mainly just due to natural causes or other reasons such as like dying in battle, which is also a way that they could die. Now of course, this is if as she grows older she chooses to reside in Mondstadt. Regardless of where she goes though, the humans she befriends will die and she'll have to constantly adapt as the centuries pass. After losing those close to her in this century and those who will become close to her in future centuries, there's bound to be a shift in emotional development and mindset in her character as she grows older. Now a reasonable question from this would be if she develops into a stereotypical quote-unquote good or bad character. Now losing close people can spark someone to still have coping mechanisms, but sometimes don't go overboard and may even encourage them to learn how to accept with dealing with the mourn and grief period of loss. They could end up becoming an emotionally and mentally strong-willed character from these experiences, which could end up helping her become a better mage. Now on the other side of the coin, it could end up leading to a lot of emotional and even mental issues for her. Klee has the potential to become a very dangerous quote-unquote bad character if the coin did flip to that side, and she used her abilities for mischievous purposes. Now like I mentioned earlier, purposeful and prolonged isolation could become a weakness for her as she'd miss how the world and societies change if it meant she didn't have to experience grief ever again, or at least for a long time before she'd be ready to feel it again. Now along with this, prolonged isolation could make someone become depressed, as well as theoretically go quote-unquote insane. And adult Klee going insane, knowing how strong she is right now, is honestly just a disaster waiting to happen. Now of course, this maybe couldn't happen because she kind of already faces prolonged isolation as is. I mean, literally she sets something off every 5 seconds and is basically put into an isolation room as punishment. So maybe that won't be something as problematic because she's kind of already used to something like that. Now thankfully, there is another alternative to how our future may go. In the future, she may join the Hexenzirkel organization. I know I butchered that wrong, but I'm honestly too lazy to even attempt to pronounce it properly because I'll still probably butcher it. Anyways, moving forward, this organization is the organization that her mother, Alice, Mona, and potentially Mona's master in Gold are a part of right now. with Alice being the only known confirmed elder. Now, the name of the organization directly translates to Circle of Witches. Obviously, there are potentially other translations for this, but main definition and straightforward translation is Circle of Witches. And it is known for exploring Irminsuls, which are the civil right trees that we see in the form of petrified trees and domains. Now from there, Klee could definitely have the potential to become a witch as strong as her mother, and even maybe stronger than that. And along with this, Klee may become interested in pursuing academia and attend Sumeru Academia if it still exists by the time she becomes an adult, obviously, making her potential even higher, and could even reach Lisa status and maybe even above that. This is especially likely because she has a more carefree personality, and a place where she can test her limits and hypotheses infinitely may end up being a good environment for her in the short run. Alright, well that was my quick little character theory video. I would like to add a note that I am now in school. I'm actually about to be approaching my third year in college. So as school's starting up again, it's gone a little harder to try and plan times for these videos. I'll still be able to do it at least once a week like I'm doing right now. If you do notice that my videos aren't as frequent, it's just mainly because of school. So I just wanted to throw that in there. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like. And until the next theory video, bye bye.